It is a decades-long discussion that has intensified in Lansing over the last year. How do you fix the state's crumbling roads?
With Governor Gretchen Whitmer's second State of the State address just more than a week away, that conversation is sure to ramp up again.
News 8 political reporter Rick Albin spent the day with the lieutenant governor surveying some of West Michigan's finest roads.
Yeah,
he joins us from the live desk, Rick.
Finest or not so. Lieutenant governor and MDOT officials let us tag along as they surveyed some freeways and some other roadways in different stages of their life, if you will. And the things that they came away with, the impressions that they left with, are really not surprising. There are a lot of roads in West Michigan and all over the state that need to be repaired. On that, even most politicians agree, if not on how to pay to fix them.
You know, that doesn't last forever, so that's why we have that 20-year design.
According to Art Green, the MDOT Transportation Service Center manager in Grand Rapids, many older roads should be rebuilt from the base up. He says as roads age and repairs are more frequent, it's really about return on investment each time you have to repair it.
That investment of, say 20 to 25% of the cost of the road originally, that many frequent times adds up to the need to replace the section.
The governor's plan to meet the need, raising gas taxes by 45 cents a gallon, hit with a thud last year. But the lieutenant governor says they will be back with another plan soon.
We put forward a real concrete plan to fix those roads, and now we're ready to follow up on that plan because the legislature, the Republican legislature, did not put a real plan on the table. They did not take serious action, and so it's up our responsibility. And so you're going to see that plan very soon.
And while the plan may be new, the opposition may not be, as expressed by Speaker of the House Lee Chatfield on this week's To the Point.
I will not have a conversation about new taxes, and I will not have a conversation about new bonds and taking on debt as a state until we ensure that every penny that's paid in taxes at the pump is a penny that goes towards roads. That's common sense, Rick, and that's what most every state in the country does.
The governor will deliver that State of the State speech a week from tomorrow night, and between now and then we might find out a little bit about her plan, but expect that whole plan to be laid out a week from Wednesday. Back to you.
All right, Rick, thank you. And you can watch the State of the State live next Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. We will bring it to you live on WXSP and at woodtv.com.